Hi, friends and families. I want to talk about another material that was in your learning kit this week. These are whiteboards, and I love these. We use these in the classroom all the time. Uh, these ones are not magnetic, unfortunately, so you can't use the magnetic letters with them, but they're great for so many different things. We're going to be using these a lot during morning meeting and small groups. So what I would recommend with these, um, along with your pen, which again, if it ever dries out, let me know. And we're so lucky we got these cute little learning is fun erasers to erase easily. Um, Try to keep them in maybe with your Play-Doh bag, that zip tie bag that was also in your kit this week. They fit in there. All of this can go in there. That way you can say, like, go get your bag. It has all your learning stuff in it. Or if you have like a bin or a box, or just keep it in your learning kits. That works too. But what your child can do with this outside of class time, encourage as much writing as possible. We always talk about some of the rules though for this. If we are going to write on it, we're going to make it clean. What it looks like in the beginning should be what it looks like in the end. So we have a nice clean board to start with. So whatever we do, we're going to have to erase before we put it away. And so we always talk about that as an expectation, and because that's what's going to have to happen into the classroom. And then we talk about our dry erase markers, whatever kind that they have or that they use, that it's this very special marker. You can't write with just anything on here or it won't come off. And so we say that that would be really sad if we couldn't use this anymore. So always check with a grown-up if it's the kind of marker that we can use on here. So that's something that you can, before you get started, you can let them know. And then I always say we hold it just like we would a pencil. And the little pencil grips that I had given you all, they fit right over top as well, because we want to really get them into good writing habits. And so we don't want them to use like the fist or however they write with these. We want them to, like, no matter what writing utensil that we use when it's time to write, we write a certain way. So whether they're using the little grippers or they already have a great pencil grip, always encourage that. And then we say with these that they're very special and that we don't press too hard, because if we press too hard, they are going to either break or dry out, and we don't want that to happen. So just tell them, like, even if you write if you use a very soft hand, it still writes, it still leaves a mark. And so we always encourage just like soft hands, soft grips, because if we're gripping like so hard that like your hands are just gonna like not be able to write for very long. So we always talk about, soft hands, soft lines, don't press softly. What I would encourage, name practice every day. Like if they're gonna write, please have them practice their names, the letters of their names. For some of my younger learners, I'll just use my daughter's name as an example. So her name is Maddie, and so I would write Maddie, and I would show them, oh, I'm writing very softly and all my letters are still coming out. Sorry that it's flipped on your screen. And then I would say, can you write it below it? Let's try this letter. Do you remember this letter? M, Maddie. And then hand them the marker, or have it if you have a different color one. And then, encourage one straight line down. We start our letters from the top. And then, just encouraging that. And then once we're finished with our name, we say, oh, so we have more space. Let's go ahead and erase it. And when we erase, we can press hard. That's okay. But with our marker, we press softly. So again, encouraging name writing, encouraging them to draw their self-portraits are super important. So talking about, we have a head, have them sit in front of a mirror. We have our bodies, we have two legs, we have two arms. These are for my younger learners. And then talk about, eyes, nose, mouth, and hair. If they can do something like that, that's awesome. Once they have that down, we can talk about, what? We aren't actually sticks. We're a little bit wider. So talking about, maybe let's use the rectangle shape for our body. And then our arms, we're not snowmen. That's what I say in the classroom all the time. We're not snowmen. So we have to say, instead of just using one stick, we actually use two. And now that looks more like my arm. And then we can say we can add fingers. Some kids do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some are able to do the circle fingers. But just start talking about, yeah, at the end of our hand, we have these little fingers that stick out, and we have 5 of them. And a lot of kids just draw them straight out like that, and we can start saying, oh, we can bend it down. Our arms aren't always up like this or like this. Sometimes they're down. And we'll say that with our legs too. We need 2 sticks because we're not snowmen. Snowmen need 1. We need 2. And then talking about our feet at the bottom. And eventually, if we can get there by the end of the year, that's awesome. And if not, we'll just keep on working on it. So again, just being able to draw pictures, talking about if they drew a flower, how many petals is on that flower. So again, names, pictures of themselves, any type of picture. But the important thing is, make sure that we're holding our pen correctly. We always erase when we are finished. If something doesn't come off, we can use just like a wet rag and wipe it off gently. And then making sure that we always say, now let's put it away properly. Where should we put this? Do you have an idea? Should we put it in your bag? Always just have a place for things, because when we do go into the classroom, and in kindergarten and first grade and second grade, they're going to have to start being responsible about keeping their things together. And we always talk about, why do we keep our things together? Why wouldn't I just leave this on the desk, put this in my room, and put this on the floor? And we can talk about that and have those conversations, and they really do get it. And modeling that, like, oh, I just finished with dinner, I'm going to put the pots where they belong. That way I know where to find them when I need to cook again. Same thing with our writing stuff. So always using that language and being good models it goes so far. But again, these are also yours to keep. If you lose something, you need some new markers, just let me know. I have lots of them in the classroom, and I'll drop them off in your learning kits.